but you have to choose to finally be uncomfortable, to do what's actually necessary and sacrifice something for actual change.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of The Dave Show. I think we've got a pretty good one planned for today. I hope you enjoy it. We've got a lot of crazy to get to, so let's do it. All right, my friends, we've got a lot of crazy to get to, so sit back, relax, buckle up. You're about to enter the Lib Zone.
I just saw a video of my senator, Patty Murray, talking about the trade war and the tariffs. And this is not just to Miss Murray. This is to all of our elected representatives right now. If you guys could focus on, the constitutional crisis that we're in right now and saving our democracy, that would be fucking great.
That's not happening.
Once that's done, then you can focus on the tariffs and the trade war.
Okay.
Priorities.
Stop saying they were deported. The people in El Salvador were not deported because deportation requires due process. They were captured against their will with no due process. You know what you call that? Kidnapping. And then they were taken again against their will with no due process to a foreign country. Do you know what you call that? Human trafficking. And then they were put in a squalid prison with no way to get out. Do you know what you call it when you put people who aren't given due process and therefore haven't been proven to commit a crime in a prison with no way to get out? That's a concentration camp.
Well, I would call it an illegal alien going back to the country where they were born. What is so hard to understand about that? And about that wholesome dad in Maryland that got sent down there. He had due process, okay? You talk about nobody has due process. There were two separate courts that said, nah, he was in the gang and he needs to go and he needs to be deported. So I don't know. You're totally gaslighting everybody, and it's really sad.
Evil.
All right, but
Get the fuck away.
let me make you upset. And I understand
Fucking
that.
evil
Well, here's
people.
the issue. Whatever their situation
Ruin
is,
everything.
they're going to ask him to come out of the
It was
vehicle.
working.
Instead of yelling
They
at him,
don't bother nobody. Fuck. And I'm fucking criminal.
Open the door.
Fucking make
I'm gonna break the window if you don't.
mi hermano, no te lo
He's
lleven.
okay. He's okay.
No se lleven a mi hermano, por favor.
You're all right. Get out.
Que mi hermano. No se lo
He's not going anywhere.
No me ciego, no te
Tell him to open the door back there.
Pero que estamos fucking
Open the door now.
Here we go. Let me talk to my husband.
back up.
Don't push
Come out of the car. Dale, dale.
Hermano. Es mi hermano. No.
I think that lady needs a couple more packs of smokes to calm her down a little bit. Jeez Louise. Yeah, he's not hurting anybody. Maybe not at the moment, but obviously he did hurt somebody. Probably. I mean, if he's in the gang, they got to do stuff like that, for like initiations and to, I don't even know what else. But, it's like a lot of times you hear it's like, well, if you want to get in, then you've got to kill somebody or you got to mug somebody or you got to rob somebody. You got to, who knows? Who knows what it is, but it's not good.
They're not going to bring him back.
No.
They're not going to bring back Kilmer Garcia.
No, I don't think so.
I think that means what, we're in a fascist nation?
No,
There's no rule of law.
it is a rule of law.
Donald Trump just defied the Supreme Court, and he's looking to build more prisons
Yes.
in El Salvador for homegrown criminals,
Yes.
American citizens.
Yes. Get them the
If
freak
you're
out of
not
here.
concerned, if you're not calling your reps, I've been on the phone. You need to. This is the fork in the road, people. And it's over. It's over. No more democracy in America. We have to do something.
Here's the deal. This is the way I look at it. I'm not fearful of President Trump and what he's doing. I'm not worried that he wants to build more prisons, that he wants to take out bigger chunks of garbage from our jails and from those that have been incarcerated. The worst of the worst, right? I don't care if they're Americans or not. I think they should go. I think they should leave. I don't want them here, and I don't want them, whatever. And they're going to be cheaper to house in these prisons down in El Salvador. What I am fearful of is that if this kind of goes the way that maybe President Trump wants to, and these actions become normalized, when the Democrats do eventually get into power again, which eventually they will, then you'll see this weaponized against normal conservatives that speak out against the administration, and just normal people, no killers, no rapists, no pedophiles or whatever. Just normal, regular people that speak out against that administration. That is when I'm going to be worried, because that will unfortunately happen. So I don't know. I think this is ultimately a good thing, but let me know what you think down below.
So I get to kill all of you, because you're mine. I own you lock, stock, and barrel.
What?
I got double portions times 3.
Huh?
You're all mine.
It
And
doesn't
I'm
even...
going to burn you to death for eternity.
Okay, for eternity. Wow, okay. Now this is really cool. So this is not Neuralink, but I think Neuralink could be used for this. So it's connected to her nerves, but it's also like wireless. So that's why she can connect, she can move her hands at will. It's pretty cool.
How do the students address you as a non-binary teacher?
I go with all pronouns, they, them, he, him, she, her. I was brought up as he, him. And then I took a course in Boise, and one of the main themes was like, who would you be if it wasn't for colonialization? And so back in my country, we have this term called bakla. Historically, that word was actually used as a third gender. So I kind of reclaimed that word. Being non-binary fits me more because I've never perfectly fit in like the boy box. I don't quite feel like a girl either. I don't know where to put myself, so they, them fits. So when I came to this school and they were asking me like, how do you think they should address you? So I said, maybe like Mix Santiago, not Mr. Sometimes they'll say like Miss or Mr. At the end of the day, it's not like the biggest deal. Yeah, I feel like there's representation from the staff, the students, like the whole family as a whole. It's great.
How is this legal? I was just driving around and I saw a billboard that said Polyev is going to cut childcare. No, he isn't. He's actually been quite clear he's not cutting any of the recently adopted social programs, including the school food program, including dental care, or $10 a day childcare. He's not cutting any of those things. You know what? It's one thing to attack a candidate in some sort of a campaign ahead of the election for something that they're actually planning to do that you don't agree with. It's a totally different one, though, to outright buy billboard space that is telling a lie.
Just to give a little bit of context, that is a lady up in Canada. So it's not a U.S. issue, but the point is still valid because it probably happens here in the United States as well with, lying on billboards. So anyways. Oh, wow. That was close.
This is your friendly reminder that a fetus is not a baby.
A baby.
Yes. I am pro fetus deletus.
Oh gosh.
But
that is catchy though.
Baby
fetus deletus
has rights as soon as it is born, when it is breathing air and is semi-self-sufficient from its mother.
No, it's not.
When it is still in its mother, it is not a baby, and therefore not a human. And therefore, its rights
a lot of
are whatever rights the mother has for it.
Okay, can you speak slower? I think you're wrong. Just because if you take a scenario, let's say a lady is 6 months pregnant and someone kills that lady, that guy is not going to be charged with just one count of murder. He's going to be charged with the murder of the infant inside the mother's belly as well. So why does that happen? How come if a murder occurs, all of a sudden that baby is a total human being, regardless of how old it is inside the womb? But if it's, any other scenario, yeah, it's fine. Just kill it. It's totally cool. Also, I don't think a baby that is just born is completely viable on its own. It can't get up and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? It is totally dependent on the mom and the dad to feed it and change its diapers and to, take care of it. It can't do that by itself. Not for a while. You know what I'm saying? Not till it gets a lot older. So there's that. And then also, fetus deletus. That is a catchy little phrase. I would actually kind of prefer hearing that than abortion. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of the Monty Python show, Life of Brian, actually. Fetus deletus. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments. Okay.
Okay, so let me set the scene for you. You're a fifth grade teacher. You have
Yep.
32 11-year-olds on a field trip, and you take your kids to Año Nuevo State Park to see the elephant seals. And in the middle of the guided tour, the guide tells the kids that the stage in between baby and adult, the elephant seals are called wieners. And then proceeds to say that there are thousands of wieners laying on the ground out there. And doesn't stop there.
That's
she
a nightmare.
also says it's a wiener wonderland.
A wiener wonderland? Oh no.
And you are the teacher in charge of those 32 11-year-olds that just heard that.
Wow.
And you have to go back the next day and teach them and deal with the fact that now they all heard in an educational setting the term wiener wonderland. Just
sorry about that.
Soak that in.
Yeah, I would agree. That's kind of a nightmare scenario for a teacher, I guess. Not so much probably for the girls, but I guarantee you every single one of those boys now have permission because, like she said, it was mentioned in an educational scenario environment. So they're going to be using Wiener Wonderland all the time. She probably is never going to hear the end of that the rest of the school year. It's just going to be wieners and Wiener Wonderland jokes the rest of the year. Oh boy, give her strength.
I've got to get this out.
Yeah.
You have to understand that T-Rump was just caught hot mic'd talking to the El Salvadoran president that he needs 5 more prisons in El Salvador.
Oh gosh,
for homegrown criminals that commit heinous acts.
Makes sense.
If
Get 'em
you
out.
haven't listened to a single fucking thing any of us has said, you need to start taking this shit seriously.
Okay.
Because he's now saying that he wants 5 more prisons to send anybody to without due process. Just
That's
he could
not
say
gonna be the
whatever
case.
you do is illegal and claim it's a heinous crime and send your ass to Venezuela.
Yep.
Go look at Aaron Parnas's page. He has the video of his hot mic talking to that El Salvadoran president.
I believe you, but doesn't.
You should all
concern
be
me.
fucking scared.
No. All this bitching about due process is really starting to get old. They had no problem with millions and millions of people illegally crossing the border with no processing, no vetting, no due process or whatever you want to call it. That was fine. That was totally cool. But now that we want to send these people back, all of a sudden they're like, oh, no. We have to vet every single one of them just to make sure no innocent people get deported or get sent to jail. No, I'm sorry. That's not happening. Also, if we build 5 more prisons dedicated to Americans that have done heinous crimes, I have no problems with that. And if you want to, again, start talking about due process, they're not going to have your due process. Well, if you're already in jail for committing these crimes, that due process is already passed, okay? And if there's anybody new entering into the system and they're American, they're going to have their regular trial just like anybody else. And if they get convicted, just like anybody else, they will then go to jail, except their jail will be in El Salvador. And yeah, I think that's totally awesome.
So Senator Chuck Schumer says that the American people feel betrayed by President Trump.
Uh-oh.
Look at here, Charles. Ain't nobody feeling betrayed.
Nope.
That man ran and did everything he said he was going to do. He was transparent.
Yep.
He said it was going to be rough in the beginning.
Yep.
But there will be prosperity.
Yeah.
We are living through that. He said he would keep men out of women's sports. He said he was going to fix the economy and bring jobs back to this country, some of which that Democrats outsourced out of the country. He's doing everything he said he was going to do. What I'd like to know is when you're going to retire. I mean, you've been in the Senate forever and done nothing. Nothing but gaslighting.
Yep.
But I will say, you know, it takes time to fix in 90 days what a sleepy president destroyed in 4 years. So I don't know about you. I don't regret my vote.
Nope.
Just be patient. Be patient. Because last time I checked, a masterpiece started out as a blank canvas before it was painted on.
Conservatives have never once been on the right side of history. I hate that I have to say right side. Like,
what?
Yes, they're on the right, but they've never been the good guys, ever. Not a single time, historically speaking.
Well, I'm sorry, what history are you looking at? This is maybe the biggest case of projection I have ever heard. Let's see where else she goes, because right now she is completely gaslighting, like 100%. Jeez Louise.
And I feel like half my videos are about this at this point, but I don't understand the dedication people have to pretending there's something they're not. You're allowed to be evil. You can be evil. We all know that you're evil. Like, it's embarrassing for you to pretend that you're not. No, it's not good to be evil, obviously, but if you're gonna do it, at least own it. You're evil either way, but it's really embarrassing that you pretend like you don't think you're evil. Like, you think that the side of history that has always been the good guys. Every single time we have history, I mean, they don't really have history books, I guess, but like, we can look back on history and see which side is always the good guys every single time, and it's never conservatives.
What?
Never once. It's in the name. It's in the name that you don't want to progress. You want to conserve the past, which is bad. Bad. Progress is good.
She's retarded.
Progressives. Good.
Okay.
Conservatism.
You don't need a Sesame Street lesson here.
And that's just a simple linguistics thing. But if we really want to get down to the bare bones of it, conservatives have just never been on the good side.
I'm so educated.
And the denialism is so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Just own it. You are evil. We all know you're evil. I don't get why people are obsessed with pretending there's something they're not. Like, you need to go to therapy really bad.
Again, projection like I've never seen before. It is so easy to go through the history books and prove that everything she just said was a complete lie. Oh my gosh, she is literally crazy. She's the one that needs to go to therapy, like, right now.
Tariffs aren't used to hurt the country that's implementing the tariffs. Tariffs are used to leverage spending away from a certain country that is too expensive to buy from. So if we impose tariffs on China, we're not doing it because we want the American people to pay too much money. We're doing it because people will start going to industries here and other places because it costs too much to get things from China. And that's how they do tariffs against us. But we're losing the tariff war, so Donald Trump is trying to equalize it by saying, hey, I'm going to implement these tariffs.
Just got off work. I am about to treat myself and get my nails done. Yes, I have my Starbucks and I'm getting my nails done. Honey, this place is luxury. I love it. You know, only the best for me. And I cannot wait to tell everyone that I've got really, really, really good news. Everybody have a gorgeous day today. Love you. All right, everybody. Yo, girl just got done getting her nails done, y'all. They was not very expensive. I'm very happy. And look, they're blue, they're sparkly, they're prettiest to match. You know, I got some news to tell everybody, but it ain't about season 4. It's just about me and my life. So I love everybody. Everybody have a beautiful, amazing day. Look at my pretty nails. Love everybody.
I'm pretty sure she picked the wrong thing to get done.
When did you know that you were transgender? I blame a friend of mine, Annie. I was 2 years old, sitting in nursery school on the floor, as one does. She was the only girl in the class that had short hair. I was looking at her sitting on one of those little 2-year-old desks that they have, and I saw her bisected through the desk, like top and bottom, where below she was wearing these Mary Jane shoes, and above she had short hair. And it was an epiphany to me that the way you looked on one part of yourself may not be the way you are to somewhere else. She looked like a boy above the desk, and below the desk was wearing very feminine shoes and dress. And I said to myself, well, maybe that's sort of how I am too, that people see me as a boy because I have short hair, but there's something else to me.
What's your opinion on Trump saying that there's only 2 genders?
So this is the kind of religious or honestly sacrilegious, because I believe that even Christianity sees a bigger and beautiful God that which we're all created in the image of. There's more gender diversity, there's more diversity of God, and that isn't a bad thing. It reeks of Germany in the 1930s, the way things can very quickly escalate from attacks on one's rights to attacks on one's lives. So I'm going to get to go to camp one of these days, and I'm not going to have to worry about retirement. But the reality is I feel like my life is very quickly going to become under attack in this country, that I'm going to be erased from public and private existence and then exterminated. I'm terrified. Obviously, this is not a president who in any sense of the word is aware of reality in the world, and I just hope we make it through it.
You're an idiot. Look, I don't believe that little scenario happened. I mean, I'm not saying that you weren't in kindergarten or preschool or whatever she was talking about, but there is no way that a 2-year-old is going to be sitting in some sort of a class environment, seeing somebody else that has short hair on top, but wearing girls' shoes or whatever on the bottom, and then have the thought, you know what? Wow, I think I'm trans. That did not happen. I am sorry. I don't even care if she even if she had parents that were kind of grooming her. Well, that would actually be the only way that kind of a thought process would occur in a kid that young. But no, if she had normal parents, which odds are she probably did, that scenario is a lie, and she's just saying that to justify her delusion, right? Projecting it onto somebody else's fault that I'm this way. Give me a break. These people need help. Speaking of needing help, what is going on with these grocery stores is so sad because of the crime that the Democrats have let run rampant for the last 4 years, that stores have to do what we're about to see. It is absolutely retarded. I'm sorry. This is so stupid and sad that we have to resort to, that these stores have to resort to doing this. Check it out.
They got pictures of the stuff because everybody steal everything.
That's so sad. This needs to end. There need to be consequences for criminals.
That's some lazy shit. That ain't because people be stealing. I feel like restocking the shelf.
I mean, look, seriously. Okay, 3, 2, 1. seriously, things need to turn around and really drastically. Like the heavy hand of the law needs to be put onto these people that steal stuff from stores. I don't care if they're just stealing a Snickers bar or a bottle of Gatorade or something. Like, they need actual consequences for their actions. You know, maybe it's just going to jail for a week or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they don't need to go to jail for years. Obviously, that's harsh. But they can't just be either not arrested, period, or, you know, booked, but no prosecution happening to them. This stuff is just makes me sick.
And the thing is, I keep saying this, and people don't like it. They get upset. You know, the Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Yeah.
You can hate someone so much that even if they do something
You're
right,
blind to it.
right?
Yeah.
You know that, and you could like or dislike Elon, but you don't have any right blowing up someone's Tesla.
Right, exactly.
You don't have any
breaking the law.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have any right going in and destroying.
They drew a dick on his Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. By the way, that was,
you understand what
I
I'm
shouldn't have
saying?
did that.
A white dick too, small.
Yeah, small white dick.
But think about that.
Now, to be fair,
they should get 40 years. But yeah, so that does happen.
That's the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I'm upset that you are doing Doge and you're closing down jobs, but you know what? You should close down Tesla. What about those people that work there?
Dude, I literally said that I was on this guy's podcast, and I was like, listen, I totally understand you. Theo Vaughn's podcast, and I was like, I totally understand that, like, you people who are critical of Elon, there's reasons to be critical. Everybody should have the freedom to be critical, right?
Right.
And I go, but hoping that Tesla shuts down,
right?
Like, I understand you're upset that people lost jobs. It doesn't improve the situation if you make more people lose jobs.
Right.
It is
He's
an
the
American
richest
car
guy.
company.
Right.
Yeah, he's the richest guy in the world. He's not. He's going to be okay.
Right.
He's not
Right,
the one hurt.
right,
The people
right.
that work there. So you're upset these people lost jobs. You're like, I know the solution. More people lose jobs.
Think about it.
These nationwide strikes for one day are great. Here's the reality. We do them on a Saturday when we're not working. We have breakfast, we do 90 minutes, we surround ourselves with like-minded people that share the same cause. And then we go home and we watch Netflix or go see a baseball game.
Okay.
We go to town halls, we talk. Great. Nothing happens.
Yep.
You want to call your congressman? Great. Nothing happens.
Nope.
The only way that we change is if you're willing to be uncomfortable and sacrifice something. Are you willing to lose your job to save democracy? To stop fascism? Because if the answer is no, then why are we doing these protests? If you're only willing to do what's easy. What if Rosa Parks didn't sit on the bus because she was afraid of going to jail or losing her job? What if Martin Luther King didn't give his speech because he was afraid to go in solitary confinement? What if Colin Kaepernick didn't take a knee because he was worried about losing his job? What if John Lewis said, I'm not going to cross the bridge because I might get beat by police officers and go to jail? You're afraid of what? Not paying rent to the rich people? Not paying gas to the corporations? Paying car insurance to the corporations? Buying food from the corporations that got us in the situation? Is that what you're telling me?
What else are you going to do? Seriously.
I'm giving you some tough love because it doesn't feel like you're ready to do what's necessary to actually change the course of this country. If you're telling me that you're unwilling to lose your job and be financially burdened in order to stop fascism, then you're truly not ready to change this country and do what's necessary. But I can tell you this, doing nothing and allowing fascism, you might lose your job anyway. You might lose your freedoms and your rights. So that's a choice.
There's no fascism.
And I'm
going
proposing
on.
something radical. Yeah, call it a revolution if you want.
Okay.
But enough is enough. 2025strike.com.
Okay.
Stop being comfortable, America. Change is supposed to be difficult. It is supposed to be uncomfortable. When you're ready to do that, let me know. I will lead it. But you have to choose to finally be uncomfortable, to do what's actually necessary and sacrifice something for actual change. Let's go.
yes, change is uncomfortable, and that's exactly what the left is showing us, is that they are very, very uncomfortable, but it's because they're all like sheep, right? They're all attached to the hive mind, and the hive mind says Trump is bad, Republicans are bad, they're evil, Trump is he's gonna be a fascist leader, and they all believe it. Jeez Louise. What you're saying is never gonna happen on the left, because none of them, except for maybe some of the absolute crazy far left, they're not gonna resort. I mean, you're basically saying resort to violence. I mean, let's just cut the crap. You want people to rise up and create anarchy and loot and riot and do all these other things that the left love to do. They do love to do that. But people are not going to give up. They're not going to sacrifice. It's not in their vocabulary. Yeah. Well, that's a winning ticket if I've ever seen one.
We don't like Elon, and
Why?
neither does America. He's a South American.
Okay, wrong. It's South African, you idiot. She's right out of the gate. She doesn't have any correct information. So obviously, everything else she's about to say is complete stupidity.
Who has no business in our government.
That sounds very racist.
No.
You should apologize.
Oh, honey, you're a white man. Your privilege is so...
Coming from a white woman.
I am a DEI hire, baby.
How? How? What have you done that's DEI?
I'm a woman.
Women. Okay? So you're using your woman privilege. That's crazy.
That is crazy, because she just said that all women are worthless DEI hires. Man alive, just stick it. Just stick a jab. Just push it in deep, lady. Jeez Louise, what a buffoon. Oh my gosh, let's go to detox, my friends, because we need it. It's time for Dave's Detox. How on earth? What is he even standing on? How do they do that? That's crazy. You kind of deserve that one. He's like, what the heck? What's going on? Nice. Oh yeah. Aw. This cat just watching two mice fight. That's funny. Oh, that's a disappointment. Oh, what cuties! Oh my gosh, they're like little slinky dogs. Nice. Oh gosh. Yeah, you go, girl. Aw, give it a little lava kiss. Oh no. Oh gosh. That's awesome. Okay, that last little dog doing the jig was totally hysterical. That made me feel good. Well, hey, listen, that wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, slap that bell. You know what to do, all that jazz. It's good stuff. And until the next video, stay safe, know that you are loved and appreciated. And of course, till we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.